This is Optimal Startup Daily, episode 598. Managing employees used to be hard. Then I tried this, by Karl Staib of digtofly.com. And I'm Dan. I'm your host, and welcome back to Optimal Startup Daily, or welcome for the first time if you are just discovering us. And this is where I read to you from some of the very best blogs on entrepreneurship. Today we're going to hear from Karl Staib, so let's get right to it and start optimizing your life. Managing employees used to be hard. Then I tried this, by Karl Staib of digtofly.com. When I left the corporate world, I thought managing people was impossible. When I was asked to take a lead on projects, many employees didn't want to do what I asked. I was lucky if they did half of what I asked. I remember when my father coached my soccer team when I was in 6th grade. I yelled at another player because he was out of position and the other team scored. He called me over and asked me if I thought that helped my teammate. I shook my head no. It took a long time for that lesson to sink in. I wasn't wise enough to see my mistakes. I didn't understand how to lead. I now look back and wished I would have allowed people the flexibility to do great work, encouraged them to find new ways to improve, and had more fun leading them. There's no way for me to go back and change anything, but I can at least help you be a better leader. It starts with thinking of yourself as a coach instead of a manager. Most people don't want to be managed. They want someone to help guide them to be their best. When I started my own business, I thought my managing days were over. I could do what I wanted when I wanted without worrying about what other people thought of me. As my time grew more crunched, I had to be more efficient. I couldn't do everything myself. In the past year, I've hired a web designer, ebook designer, copywriter, editor, and nanny. I hired these people to take work off my plate. I did my due diligence before I hired someone, but I made a huge mistake. The people I hired were smart, talented, and passionate, all the right ingredients, but my first hire failed. Now, instead of blaming them and just hiring someone else right away, I took a step back and took a hard look at my hiring process. I looked back through my emails, notes, and thought about our conversations, and I realized my mistake. I wasn't giving them any guidance. People don't want to be managed. They want to be coached to be their best self. People want the freedom to do great work. Quote, accountability increases the positive impact of coaching conversations and solidifies their rightful place as keys to organizational effectiveness. End quote. Monique Valcourt of the Harvard Business Review. Employees want to understand and appreciate the vision and help build upon it, not be micromanaged or feel confused by their choices. They want to create something and see progress toward it every single day. So if you are a manager who wants more productivity out of your employees, I suggest focusing on these questions. Ask your employees, what can I do to make you happier? Wouldn't you have loved to hear this question from your boss? I know I would have. The more barriers you remove from people's workday, the less stress they have. For example, if you have a meeting every Thursday at 10 a.m., right when everyone starts to get in the zone, and you ask them to stop what they're doing to attend, then you're making it difficult for them to do great work. Then ask yourself, 1. How can I help them see their progress? Career progress is maybe the most important aspect of happiness at work. Employees want to understand that their hard work is making a positive impact. 2. How can I create positive experiences? Young people don't want new cars. They want experiences that help them feel connected to the people they work with. People stay at a job when they have a deeper connection with one person. How can you build upon these connections? 3. Does my team have core values in place? Core values are vital to growing together as a team. If people don't have similar values, then it's harder to get along. By writing down core values with your team, they will use these core values to make smarter decisions. And 4, do I have a feedback loop in place? It's great that you ask them how you can make them happier. I bet they love hearing that question. If you only do this every 12 months, then you're missing out on a lot of coaching opportunities and chances to learn from your employees. The best managers allow everyone to have input and allow the best ideas to rise to the top. Being a better coach isn't easy. There will be times you won't listen as well as you should. But if you practice, I promise you will be rewarded with more loyal employees who go the extra mile. You just listened to the post titled, Managing Employees Used to Be Hard. Then I Tried This, by Karl Staib of digtofly.com. And thank you to Karl. A little bit about him. He helps entrepreneurs to understand their struggles and turn them into stepping stones. In 2010, he was diagnosed with testicular cancer and then was laid off from his job in 2011. And while those were difficult situations, he calls them blessings in disguise now. Since then, he stopped doing work that doesn't fit with his passions and instead now focuses on things he truly cares about. He's the author of the book Bring Gratitude and has a lot to offer on his site, so come by digtofly.com for a lot more, and I have that linked in this episode's description. And by the way, dig to fly means dig deep to fly high. Karl also has a podcast you can check out. You can find the Dig to Fly podcast wherever you get your audio. And that does it for today's show. Hope you enjoyed it and that you're having a great day. And I'll be back here with you tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.